Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I have some good news for the people here in the United States that want to travel to Brazil but can't. This article is basically old, which is when it was released by March 21st, but this article is reliable. It says U.S. citizens can travel to Brazil without the red tape of a visa starting June 17th. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, that for those that want to go to Brazil and you have to pay a lot of money for having a visa to go over there, you don't need it anymore. Either it's going to be less, or they decided that we can travel without a visa. But this article is really interesting, and it's come from the Washington Post. It says that what's better than paying $44.24 for the visa to Brazil, paying nada for no document. The Brazilian government announced this week, that travelers from the United States, Australia, Japan, and Canada would no longer need a visa to enter the country of Carnival. Let's see, Capricorns, I can't pronounce that, and coffee. I'm gonna stop you right there, which means, ladies and gentlemen, that let's just say you want to go to the Carnival in Brazil and you have to pay visas, pay a lot of money for visas to go into it. You don't have to do it anymore. And that's effective June the 17th, which was like 4 months ago. And it's really amazing that now we as black people can travel to Brazil even more, because a lot of people wish they want to go, but they can't go. But now there's no excuse because there's no visas, period. Um, all we have to do is just get a passport and pay the ticket, and that's it. But I'm going to continue reading this. It says, travelers arriving before that date must still obtain. Now, I want people to understand this. This is why I'm saying that now this is old, but again, there's no visas now in Brazil. But I'm going to read this anyway. It says, travelers arriving before that date must still obtain an electronic visa for $40 plus service fee. Visitors can stay in the country for 90 days from the date of their first entry and request an extension to 180 days within a 12-month period. I'm going to repeat this again, ladies and gentlemen. It says visitors can stay in the country for 90 days from the date of their first entry and request an extension to 180 days within a 12-month period. Isn't it cool? I'm going to continue reading this. It says, Brazil has been easing up on its visa policy in recent years. Last January, it introduced the e-visa, which allowed Americans, Japanese, Australians, and Canadians to apply for the document online and skip the trip to the Brazilian consulate. The fee has dropped from $160 to the cost of 2 bottles of Cache rum. Since the change, the government has noticed a spike in visa applications from $169,910 in 2017 to $229,767 last year. All coincidence, LATAM, which flies all over South America, has designed Brazil its destination of the month. In addition, the Brazilian airline Gol is offering sale fares to several Brazilian cities from Orlando and Miami through June. And that's the end of the article. So, I'm gonna want to say this, that the Brazilian government having financial troubles over there. The economy is really bad, and that's mainly the reason why they need more tourists to spend money in Brazil. And this is why a lot of Americans and other countries want to come to Brazil, and even they don't even have to worry about a visa to come. And one good thing about Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can stay as much as you want. If you want to stay more than a week or 2 weeks, you can just request the Brazilian government, and they extend it any times and days, maybe almost a year if you wanted to. That's how much Brazil needs the money. The economy in that country is really bad. So for all the people that say, well, I want to go to Brazil, I want to travel to Brazil so bad, but I couldn't afford it because of the visas, there's no excuse now. There's no excuse because, after June 17th, there is no visas to travel at all. Whether you live in the United States, Canada, or even in Europe that want to go to Brazil, there's no visas. And then for when you even arrive to go to to Brazil, you can't just look and flashy. You can't just wear something fancy because, and I know a lot of people are concerned that every time there's an event going on in Brazil, you worry about people will rob you and stuff like that. Well, when you go to Brazil, you got to act like you got to act like them. You got to act like you don't have anything because if you see a nice watch, yes, they will rob you for it. If you see anything that's fancy, they will rob you for it, right? So just when you get there, just get a regular clothes and pretend, like that you're not rich or whatnot. But the coolest thing about this is that now we as black people, you know, don't have any excuse to travel to Brazil anymore. Because they're going to say, well, I always want to go to Brazil, but I can afford it. Or I want to go to Brazil, but the visas is too expensive. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You really don't. Because the thing of it is that now, after June 17th, which is like a couple of months ago, that there is no visa to travel. So there's no excuse for us to travel to Brazil because I know we all of us want to go there. We're going to go to Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo or any other places in Brazil. There's no excuses to go, or there's no excuses to go anymore. So tell me what you think about this article, ladies and gentlemen. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. And with that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.